Hello and welcome, our blood viewers, to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. Inauguration of the new RPP Annex of District 1 and 2. First official visit of the Director General of the FAO to the Republic of Djibouti. And on the international scene, bombings on Rafah and Khan Yunis and Arab Islamic State concerning the Trump plan. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The two neighborhoods first and second witnessed the inauguration of a new branch of the People's Rally for Progress, RPP, in a major political and popular ceremony that underlined the party's growing grassroots presence and the expansion of its activities across several districts. The opening was attended by Prime Minister and RPP Vice President Abdulghadir Kamil Mohammed, the party's Secretary General and Minister of Economy and Finance Mr. Ilyas Musa Dawale, as well as a number of government ministers and national figures. Among the prominent attendees were the Minister of Higher Education and Research Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed and Member of Parliament Ali Zaid Shadali, who stressed in his remarks the importance of this organizational expansion for strengthening direct communication with citizens and supporting local development plans. He affirmed that the opening of the two branches in the first and second neighborhoods represents a significant step towards consolidating party work and embedding political participation. Ali Zaid Shadali also praised the activist efforts in the area and their role in mobilizing grassroots supports, noting that these initiatives reflect the party's commitment to serving the nation and society through practical programs that meet citizens' expectations. The event drew a large turnout of party supporters and local residents who welcomed this move as a means to bring the party closer to the people and facilitate the transmission of their concerns to state institutions. Party leaders said that the opening from this party's role in the political arena and enabling more effective implementation of its development. The two branches are expected to innovate party activity in the area, activate community initiatives, and provide a continuous space for dialogue between citizens and party leadership.
Merci.
In his intervention, he reiterated the strategic importance of the new branches for enhancing local dialogue and participation. Ali Zaid Shadili, the DBT, also underlined that bringing party structures closer to neighborhoods strengthens oversight of development initiatives and improve representatives to residents' daily needs. The parliament member called on local activities to intensify outreach and ensure that branches become effective platforms for citizen engagement in the articulation of concrete solutions to local problems. Dr. Nabil expressed his appreciation for the organizational efforts that led to the opening to the two branches, describing the expansion as key pillar for consolidating political awareness within society, particularly among youth, who represent a driving force in development. He noted that the party's presence in the first and second neighborhoods will create greater opportunities to promote volunteerism and educational and cultural initiatives consonant with the state's aspirations to build a cohesive knowledge society. He added that strengthening the party's grassroots structures helps create spaces for dialogue and idea exchange, thereby improving the party's capacity to implement its programs effectively. In his address, the Secretary General expressed that the inauguration of the new branch forms a part of an integrated strategy designed to widen the party's presence.
With great pride that we inaugurate today the new annex of the Districts 1 and 2, a facility that reflects our commitment to strengthening the bonds between the party and its grassroots. This structure is not merely an administrative space, it is a place of life, dialogue, and proximity designated to meet the expectations of our members and wider population. This brand new annex is the result of a clear political commitment led by our President, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, and supported by the constant involvement of the Honorable Ali Zaid Shadili, whose personal investment was decisive. Their shared vision allows us today to open the doors of a space dedicated to development, listening, and civic mobilization. As Secretary General of the RPP, I reaffirm our determination to pursue these broad programs of constructing and modernizing our structures. We will continue to create environments that promote training, personal development, and youth engagement with the goal of building a stronger, more united, and forward-looking society.
The Vice President of the People's Rally for Progress, the Prime Minister Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, said that the opening of the RPP branches in the first and second neighborhoods marks a new phase that reflects the dynamism and popular expansion of party activity.
The inauguration of this annex marks an important milestone in our effort to remain open, accessible, and close to our people. Upon my arrival, the warm welcome extended by the President of the annex and Honorable Ali Zaid Shadili reminded me of the passion and dedication that drive our cadre and members. This facility belongs to you above all. It is a place designated to strengthen cohesion and support local initiatives. The RPP has always placed great importance on citizen participation by multiplying annexes across the country. We demonstrate that our commitment is not only political but deeply human. These buildings become meeting points where training, reflection, social actions, and youth support come together to address the aspirations of our people. Today, I wish to commend the work accomplished and reaffirm that this inauguration is only one step within a much broader program. Together, we will continue to build a united, prosperous, and equitable nation. Our responsibility is great, but it is carried by the convictions that hand in hand with our members, we can shape a fairer and more harmonious future for all.
As part of Justice Week, an exceptional open house event was held at the Palace of Justice on Saturday, 6 December today, under the patronage of leadership of the Minister of Justice and Prisons, who is responsible for human rights, Mr. Ali Hassan Bahdon. The initiative focused on transparency and public education with the primary aim of expanding and explaining how the justice system operates. The guiding principle was an invitation to litigants and all citizens to discover not only the physical facilities, but above all, the day-to-day workings of the court and the tangible ways justice is administered. The event sought to transform the imposing building into a space of understanding and to render complex procedures into accessible narratives. The initiative proved successful, attracting a large turnout, including university students and civil society representatives, all motivated by genuine curiosity. Under Minister Ali Hassan Bahdon's leadership, the exploration program was unusually comprehensive, bringing almost the entire justice and government governance apparatus into view. Visitors met with representatives from the Court of Accounts, the Ombudsman's Office, the National Human Rights Commission, the National School for Judicial Studies, and the Independent National Authority for the Prevention and Combating of Corruption. Collectively, these institutions offered a broad overview demonstrating that justice, in its wider sense, is a multifaceted system encompassing injunction and oversight, protection, and also prioritize immersive experiences and direct dialogue. The President of the Court of Appeal, Mrs. Namali Warsama, speaking on behalf of First Instance and Appeal judges, welcomed attendees to the Palace of Justice of the Republic of Djibouti and addressed the public in the name of the Djiboutian people. She noted that judges here deliver judgments and uphold justice on behalf of the nation and affirmed that Djiboutian judges embody that justice. She described the open day as an opportunity for judicial staff, men and women working in this vulnerable institution, to present their work, explain each role, and remove the veil of mystery surrounding the judicial mechanisms. While there is a well-known maxim that ignorance of the law excuses no one, she stressed that many citizens do not know their rights. The open day therefore serves as a first step to provide an overview of the wide and multi-dimensional legal and justice professions practiced here, and to answer public questions. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, attended the 5th Global Education Summit in Istanbul, accompanied by National Education Inspector Abdul Ghadir Tahir Adan and Technical Advisor Nasser Ali Ahmed. On arrival, the Minister was received by the head of the Turkish Knowledge Foundation, Mr. Mahmoud Ozdil, and other senior figures. The summit, held under the Healing the World Through Education convent, numerous prominent personalities, including Turkey's First Lady Emin Erdogan and Syria's First Lady Latifa Ad-Durbi, and featured several education ministers, designated Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud as a guest of honor of the foundation, emphasizing that education should be fair and accessible. The summit highlighted learning's role in reducing inequalities. The event, organized by the Turkish Knowledge Foundation, opened on 2nd of December at the Ataturk Cultural Center with the primary aim for creating a platform of strategic exchange through high-level panels, expert dialogues, and youth sessions. In her opening remarks, First Lady Iman Erdogan expressed serious concerns about the potential misuse of technology, warning that artificial intelligence intended to advance science has become an instrument to conflict. She praised Syria's First Lady and that it could rebuild Syria's educational infrastructure and mitigate the effects of conflict. Iman Erdogan underscored the diplomatic value of the foundation's educational model, which represents a local culture and promotes international cooperation. High-level ministerial panel at the Istanbul Education Summit. Djibouti, Senegal, and Mali presented major reforms aimed at addressing the challenge posed by conflict and social, economic, and environmental crisis. The session, chaired by Turkey's First Lady, featured a ministerial roundtable where Minister Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud served as a guest of honor. Discussions focused on how to heal the world through education, drawing on participating countries' experiences and initiatives. The debate stressed that education alone cannot achieve large-scale societal transformation and called for broader social reforms to support schools' role. Ministers highlighted education as a driver of cohesion, resilience, and social justice, core priorities, and President Ismail Omar Guelleh's national project, and urged international cooperation to support equitable, effective reforms. In his address, the minister reiterated that no meaningful change is possible without quality education. He argued that schools are necessary but not sufficient, and called for wider societal reforms to address the root caused by inequality, citing including poverty, the root causes of inequality, setting national initiatives led by the head of state, including poverty reduction, strengthened citizen institution links, gender gap reduction, and greater youth inclusion. A ministerial meeting concluded to adopt IGAD strategy to prevent plastic pollution through the circular economy and a source to sea approach 2026-2035. The ministerial meeting opened on 2nd of December at the Kempinski Hotel and brought together member state representatives, diplomats, experts, and national officials to pursue a shared objective of environmental protection and sustainable management of plastic waste. The closing ceremony was chaired by Djibouti's Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development, Mr. Mohamed Abdel Qadir Musa Helem, and attended by the IGAD Executive Secretary's representative and the ambassadors of Kenya, Ethiopia, and Somalia. The diplomatic presence underscored the regional importance accorded to the initiative, considered essential for protecting coastal and marine environments and public health. Speaking on behalf of the IGAD Executive Secretary, an official welcomed participants to the historic meeting and stressed the event's significance not only for the region but globally in the fight against plastic pollution. He praised Djibouti's leadership and role in green economy efforts and environmental protection, noting the discussions in Geneva on plastic control and underscoring the regional scientific cooperation and political will are necessary to deliver suitable solutions.
Economy, environmental stewardship in our region. I am reminded of the positive lessons we are learning from the currently adjourned negotiation for a global plastic treaty adjourned in Geneva from our own successful initiatives. Action without perfect consensus is still progress. Today, we chose progress. We chose to lead. We chose to demonstrate that regional cooperation, guided by science, driven by commitment, and grounded in the lived experiences of our communities, can forge solutions to seemingly intractable problems.
In his closing remarks, the minister welcomed the consensus achieved on the 2026-2035 strategy and affirmed that combating plastic pollution is now a collective priority. He highlighted the central role of the circular economy, integrated waste management, and cross-border cooperation in overcoming shared environmental challenges across the Horn of Africa. He thanked the IGAD representatives and diplomats for hosting the session and reiterated the commitment to monitor effective implementation of the strategy in each member state. The shared pledge paves the way for a regional framework for plastics management with clear objectives and sustainable cooperation mechanisms, reaffirming Djibouti's role as a regional platform on environmental issues and its commitment to a cleaner, more resilient future for the entire IGAD region. The FAO General Director arrived in the capital on an official visit and was received by the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Mohamed Ahmed Awale, and seniors as aides. The visit aims to review FAO supported our projects and strengthen cooperation with the Djiboutian authorities in food security and agricultural development. It forms part of FAO's ongoing efforts to support national program to boost agricultural production, enhance resilience to climate change, and ensure sustainable management of natural resources. The UN official is scheduled to hold meetings with government representatives and to conduct field visits to FAO-supported projects to assess progress and discuss future plans for sector development. The visit is expected to enhance technical partnerships and shape shared strategies to improve local production and national capacities, contributing to economical growth and food security. On Wednesday, 3rd of December, a formal ceremony marked the conclusion of a training delivered by the Carabinieri instructors at the Sheikh Musa Training Center, reflecting opening military and technical cooperation between the Djiboutian National Gendarmerie and the Italian Carabinieri. The ceremony was presided over by General Torili Salambini on behalf of the Carabinieri Commander General alongside Colonel Zakaria Sheikh Adan, Chief of Staff of the National Gendarmerie, and senior officers from both institutions. The visiting official was received with honors before a bilateral meeting and a presentation on the Gendarmerie's operational capabilities in the main conference hall. A video highlighted key moments from the crowd management training provided to the 4th Protection Force, followed by a military parade where units were perfectly aligned for the ceremony. After the flag raising, the national anthems of Italy and Djibouti were played, and the commanders reviewed the deployed units. Certificates were then presented to trainees who completed the 8 courses, followed by remarks from military leaders praising the discipline, commitment, and exemplary protection between partner forces. The dynamic demonstration by elements of the 4th Protection Force drew particular acclaim, showcasing their mastery of crowd management techniques acquired during the training. Speaking at the ceremony, General Sambellini expressed the highest appreciation and gratitude to the authorities and people of Djibouti, whom he praised. He warmly greeted Colonel Zakaria Hassanadan and thanked him for his continued support for the mission. He noted that the close cooperation to developed over the years attests to the partnership's importance and central role in bilateral security cooperation. He also said that the training program crowned today's strengthens bonds of friendship and mutual esteem between the Gendarmerie and the Carabinieri. During the intensive training period, the gendarmes followed a rigorous program combining operational drills and in-depth study of contemporary policing techniques and procedures. In his opening remarks, Colonel Zakaria expressed his pleasure at participating in the occasion and emphasized that both militarized police forces operating nationwide and close to local communities, their dual mission is to ensure citizen safety and to protect the democratic order. He stressed that operational performance is not the sole measure of the value of their services. The ability to listen, respect individuals, and build trust with the public daily are equally decisive in this assessment. As in other countries, Djibouti's Ministry of Health observed World AIDS Day to remind the public of the ongoing threat posed by the pandemic, raise awareness and highlight prevention and care efforts. Activities involved students from the Higher Institute of Health Sciences and the French Institute on Djibouti, with the Institute Director and the World Health Organization representative attendance. This year's slogan, Overcoming Barriers, Transforming the HIV Response, calls on states, communities, and partners to review commitments, encourage innovation, integrate HIV services into broader health programs, combat stigma and structural barriers, and intensify efforts to end the epidemic. It is important to note that HIV testing, treatment, and follow-up are provided free of charge at all health facilities across the country. The National Week concluded at the Yunus Toussaint Center with the presence of the Ministry of Health, Secretary General, and other stakeholders engaged in HIV/AIDS control, who expressed satisfaction with the ministry's efforts. In his remarks, the Secretary General reaffirmed the Ministry's commitment to intensify provision efforts and community mobilization with particular focus on youth. He underscored the government's determination to expand access to testing and care and to step up awareness campaigns that combat stigma and promote integrated health services. As in previous years, the Embassy of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia in Djibouti officially celebrated the 20th anniversary of the country's Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Day at the Ethiopian Club in Djibouti. Observed since the 8th of December 1994, the day commemorates Ethiopia's unique history and its millennia-old civilization and provides an opportunity to celebrate the nation's cultural, linguistic, and ethnic diversity, a diversity seen as a vital asset for sustainable development and social cohesion. The Ethiopian community marked the occasion on 5th of December 2025 with cultural and musical activities that highlighted the beauty of the unity in diversity. Ethiopians abroad celebrated the day worldwide, recognizing it as a cornerstone for building the Federal Democratic Republic's sustainable development in its diverse form. In his address, the ambassador said he was pleased to mark the 20th anniversary of Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Day at a time when his country, in progressing across many sectors, he pledged continued efforts to work with partners to make development effective, and affirmed that the Ethiopian diaspora shares the celebratory spirit and remains united with citizens at home. He called for sustainable work to advance the sustainable development agenda launched by the country. On the 57th day of the truce in Gaza, Israeli media reported loud explosions in central Israeli cities following the Israeli army demolition of buildings in the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, the Israeli military continued strikes across several areas of Rafah and southern Gaza. Sources indicated that the occupation artillery shelled civilian homes along the so-called Yellow Line northeast of Khan Yunis, and that in the Shujaya neighborhood east of Gaza City, Israeli forces demolished residential buildings within the Yellow Line. In a joint statement, 8 Arab and Islamic countries expressed concern over Israel comments about opening the Rafah crossing in only one direction to permit Gaza residents to leave for Egypt, and called for respect for the US President Donald Trump's plan and for strengthening the ceasefire in the Strip. Well, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and